Welcome to the Natural Health and Healing Show with one of New England's leading nutritionists, Mark Mincola. The show is brought to you by the Good Health Stores in Hanover and Quincy. Call Mark at 781-837-4900 with your health and nutrition questions. Now, here's Mark.
Good evening and welcome. And a very healthy, happy Sunday night to everybody out there. Hopefully there's no stress in your world. Likely not the case. Just dug up a couple interesting little pieces of information. A recent online survey by the American Psychological Association has revealed that 32% of Americans say they are experiencing extreme stress. Not just stress, but extreme stress. So 1/3 of us are apparently really experiencing high levels of routine stress. Also, a interesting piece in Psych Central says that a national study finds that Americans are feeling more stress than they did 6 months ago. So it seems to be an increasing value in most people's lives. 1,000 people surveyed, men and women, ages 18 and older, revealed that 47% of respondents currently feel more stress than they did 6 months ago. So our perception is that it's increasing in our lives. It's not going away. I think that's the real important message, that we are really not finding viable solutions. You know, a lot of folks, of course, on anti-anxiolytics or anti-anxiety type medications, antidepressive medications. And, many of the research out there suggests that those, when they do work, are only viable for a period of about 6 months, after which your chemistry tends to adapt. And the effectiveness in many cases not quite as efficient as it might have once been. This particular study sheds a great deal of light on the correlation of stress, too, with physical health. And they say 85% of the respondents reported that they believe that stress is weakening their body's immune system. Obviously, stress, as we all know, can take a very serious toll on the human body if left unchallenged. So we've really got to think in terms of, especially this time of year, immunity, colds, flus, a lot of the viruses that are going around. Invariably, whenever I do my work in my office, I talk to folks about, their immune system from a stress perspective a great deal of the time, and I find these direct corollaries with folks saying, geez, years gone by, when the stress levels weren't so great, I wasn't that prone to viruses, to colds, to flus. And during those periods where the stress is markedly higher, the immune system, of course, is markedly lower. So there is that direct corollary. So there's an awful lot to be said, not just about folks 18 and older, even children now are complaining. Many different surveys are finding that children are also suffering greatly from stress. So as a culture, it's incredible. I mean, over the years, I've seen marked increases in the American stress population in our offices over the years. The American Institute of Stress estimates that 90% of all doctor visits involve stress-related conditions, of course, affecting things like mood, sleep, mental equilibrium, immunity, as we said, nervous system function, on and on and on. So many folks that I see, for example, day in and day out, who complain about issues such as insomnia, concentration problems, coping skills, depression, anxiety, mood shifts. And I just did 2 talks recently in the South Shore about metabolism. Everybody's interested, especially this time of year, losing weight, making certain that their energy is high and their metabolism is at its absolute best. What can I do to improve my metabolism, get my energy up? Of course, one of the first things I always talk about is the correlation between stress and metabolism. So stress also affects the manner in which we burn calories. Stress affects energy levels, sleep levels. It affects virtually everything. So, with such a deluge of stress respondents in these issues continue to mount up. They're not going away, like we said earlier. We don't really have good, viable solutions. And anything short of a complete transformational turnaround, one dedicating their life to different ways of thinking, different ways of behaving, focusing more on spirituality, focusing more on meditation, yoga, tai chi, eating better, of course, exercise. These are all strategies that a lot of people do indeed engage when it comes to overwhelming stress. But other than that, there really is no great solution. But I have found one. And that's really what I want to talk to you about this evening. There's some remarkable physiological and brain chemical differences that can be made with one supplement. When we come back from this break, we're going to talk about a viable way to manage stress with a nutritional supplement. Stay tuned.
Hi, this is Laura from Good Health, proud sponsor of the Natural Health and Healing Show. Cold and flu season is upon us, and we have all the natural remedies you and your family need. Effective vitamins, herbs, homeopathics, and natural nasal sprays to protect you from germs and viruses. All our wholesome products are available at our everyday low prices. Come by and see us in Quincy Center or Route 53 in Hanover. Visit GoodHealthNaturalFood.com. Good Health, the intelligent choice for everything healthful and economical.
Right in our area, we are fortunate to have one of the top martial arts schools in the country, Personal Best Karate. Personal Best has been recognized for their community involvement, professional staff development, character building programs, and exciting educational curriculum. Personal Best stands at the top of their industry. 5 locations offering personalized professional instruction. Not sure if karate is right for you? At no obligation, the staff at Personal Best will guide you in a private introductory program to see if karate is indeed the right fit to help you achieve your goals and meet your needs. What does karate at Personal Best teach you? Character building, success habits, helps you get in shape, relieve stress, self-control, setting goals, and of course, self-defense. Personal Best's goal is to create successful, contributing members of society through the practice of the martial arts at Personal Best. Mr. Chris Rappold is, of course, the founder of Personal Best Karate. He tells me his greatest joy of all is to see the personal transformation in each and every student. Bring out your best with Personal Best Karate. Telephone number 508-285-5425. That's 508-285-5425. Locations in Norton, Foxborough, Southeaston, Franklin, and Taunton. That's Personal Best Karate.
Hey, welcome back. And you're looking good. And now we hope we can help you to feel equally as good. Did you like that little setup before that break? That little cliffhanger tease? Where we've got y'all wondering now what it is. What is this super supplement that helps me neutralize stress? But we have to leave now. We can't do the rest of the broad. No, I'm just kidding.
Tape show. We ran out of tape.
We ran out of tape. There you go. No, actually, what we want to do here is kind of have you capture in your mind that over the years, imagine the cascading effect here of so many stressed out people finding their way into my office. I mean, gazillions over the years. The one I would tell you the one common denominator, the most common thing that I find myself sort of connecting with regarding health-related issues is really the idea of stress. So we've always really examined thoroughly what kind of strategies might be beneficial. You know, listen, we've all read the nutritional almanacs, the health books. Everybody knows the general parameters here. You know, take B-complex vitamins. You know, the idea of get a good night's sleep if you can sleep during periods of stress. And if you can't, drink some chamomile tea. Everybody knows that stuff. There's no earth-shattering news there. But I'm saying at the level that I do what I do when I consult with folks, I have to be where the buck stops. And I am, and I always have been. So to really find out solutions that are truly viable, that really work, so I don't get floods of emails and text messages back saying, what do I try next? We got to get it right. So of all the things that we've really examined and worked with and empirically and subjectively sort of tested over the years, in terms of a difference maker when it comes to dealing with stress biochemically, and specifically brain chemistry, we're going to talk a lot about that. There's one thing that I really do feel keeps coming back to me over and over and over. First, used as a food staple by the ancient Aztecs of Mexico, the Africans of the Lake Chad region, the ancient Chinese, Japanese, Hawaiians, blue-green algae, and the microscopic form of blue-green algae called spirulina are the richest sources of food protein in the world. Now, if they're rich in food protein, that means they're very high in both RNA, ribonucleic acid, and DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. Now, that's a really important point, because when stress hits you, the processes of oxidative stress really exhaust. They exhaust a great deal of chemistry in our bodies, but specifically they really wipe out, and in some cases can force the tendency for DNA mutation. You know, those stresses are really intense. The oxidative stresses really do a number on your DNA and your RNA. So blue-green algae, spirulina, which is really nothing more than a microalgae, have the ability to really offset the ravages of stress known as oxidative stress. These proteins, so rich in DNA and RNA, contain 20 times more protein per acre than soy. 20 times. They also contain 20 times more protein than milk, 6 times more protein than eggs. So these blue-green algae are really high in protein. They're comprised of about 65, depending on the type of algae, there are 25,000 species. 25,000 species of algae, generally containing anywhere from 65 to 75% protein. Here's the real key, folks. 90% of it is digestible. Now, for most of you that don't know what to compare that with, the average consumption of chicken, turkey, fish, beef, even soybeans, if you're really fortunate, if you're really good at digesting, and if you're really at your absolute optimum best, you might digest 30%, 40% if you're really, really rocking in the free world here. But what we're talking about with blue-green algae is 65% protein that is 90% digestible, unheard of. And the reason for their protein superiority is their blue protein called phycocyanin, which is really also an antioxidant. For example, a lot of folks, the word sounds, phycocyanin almost sounds like proanthocyanidins, the good stuff that's in red wine, the good stuff that's in berries. Very similar agent, but much more concentrated in the blue-green algae. Now, as we said earlier, there are 25,000 species of food-grade algae all over the planet. The most superior is called alpha-nizomenin, or blue-green algae, the micro-blue-green algae called spirulina as well. Now, a lot of folks don't even know what algae is. It's my contention that if the world really had its act together, we could literally use algae to feed the world. It's growing indigenously just about everywhere. 3/4 of this planet has algae growing indigenously on it. And again, we're talking about 65% protein, 90% of which is digestible. We're talking about 25,000 species. There is no shortage of this superfood on the planet. There's only a shortage of effort to make use of it. Algae is not a plant, nor is it a bacteria. Algae belongs to a class somewhere in between the two. So, in theory, algae fit somewhere in between plant life and bacterial life. And by the way, when I say the word bacteria, you don't have to get too nervous about it. 99% of the bacteria on planet Earth is good bacteria. Only 1% is bad. Anyway, algae fits in a class somewhere in between bacteria and plant life. Here's the real rub, though. As we said earlier, these algae contain DNA, RNA. And so many folks, of course, are aware of the importance of eating sprouts, for example, raw foods, because of something called superoxide dismutase. It's an enzyme catalyst that really boosts immunity, increases the oxygen delivery to the cell, helps alkalize you, helps your immune system, etc., etc. Well, blue-green algae and spirulinas are loaded with SOD, superoxide dismutase. Also glycolipids, which means good fats, specifically gamma-linoleic acid, a really good important building block fat for immunity, for hormone systems in the body. And they also are very rich in vitamins, especially a lot of vitamin B12. Many folks are aware of the fact, of course, because a lot of folks with B12 deficiency have been supplemented with various spirulinas and blue-green algae, and they are definite energy producers in the body. Great energy stabilizers for the nervous system, and that is, of course, the very available form of B12. B12 is essential to really take that nervous system and soothe it, calm it, settle it down, balance it out after a day's stress. So these algae contain DNA, RNA, SOD, glycolipids. They're also very rich in vitamins, minerals, flora, which is, of course, good bacteria, GLAs, which we said, and antioxidants. And recent studies have found them to be up to 10,000 times, I said 10,000 times, more powerful as an antioxidant than glutathione. What is glutathione? It's an amino acid. It's a protein component. You can find it in the shelves of any health food store. Glutathione is the superior detox agent, cleansing agent for the cell, stabilizing agent, especially in the light of the fact that your cells, your healthy, beautiful cells, are taking 30,000 DNA hits a day. 30,000 DNA hits a day. So glutathione is a preserver and protector. It protects your cells against a lot of that DNA damage, a lot of those assaults. Well, here's really good news. The spirulina and the blue-green algae have 10,000 times more powerful antioxidant support than glutathione. You want to preserve and protect your cells in the light of all the DNA hits they're taking. You can't do better than blue-green algae and spirulina. The blue-green algae and spirulina has been clinically proven to reverse the effects of Alzheimer's. Dr. Gabriel Cousins published his studies in the Journal of Orthomedicine as far back as 1985. Able to reverse the chemistry and the serious effects of Alzheimer's. Also in 1985, Dr. Git Jensen of the Royal Victoria Hospital in Montreal, Canada, found that 1.5 grams, not a whole lot, but 1.5 grams of blue-green algae activated an average of 40% of human natural killer cells within 2 hours. Okay, what am I saying about that? Think about this, folks. NK cells, natural killer cells. You got them inside your body right now. The more, the merrier. Natural killer cells kill viruses. They kill cancer cells. The problem is most folks do not have them activated at a blood level. Most folks do not have them in a very high population based within their tissues. They are focused on killing bacteria, viruses, and cancer cells. Natural killer cells are your superior immune defensive army within your blood system. So we said that Dr. Git Jensen, back as far as 1985, the Royal Victoria Hospital in Montreal, found that 1.5 grams, now that's about a half a recommended serving, folks. About half a recommended serving, 1.5 grams of blue-green algae activated an average of 40% of natural human killer cells within 2 hours. To actively kill your viruses, to actively kill your cancer cells, etc. In 1995, the mid-90s, there's a great deal of research that was going on regarding blue-green algae. and spirulina at the Harvard Center for Family Wellness. They did a study of 142 school-aged children, found that 1 gram, 1,000 milligrams of blue-green algae greatly reduced anxiety and depression, improved focus, concentration, as well as social skills and learning tasks. But to me, of all the things that are truly amazing about blue-green algae and spirulina, to me the most impressive by far and away is its ability to help us combat the effects of oxidative stress. So, when you start really looking at nutritional supplements and healthy eating, etc., there's a tremendous amount of impressive information out there. I mean, obviously, there's a tremendous amount of study activity going on as we speak because of the expanding marketplace. There's a tremendous amount of money that's been invested suddenly in the world of nutrition, thank God. So there's a lot of research now. But none more impressive than blue-green algae and spirulina in its ability to help us combat the ill effects of stress. That's the real focus of tonight's program. Blue-green algae is a valuable source of something called PEA, phenylethylamine. It's a natural endogenous amphetamine. It's part of a natural biochemistry that helps us modulate mood. PEA is often referred to as the love molecule because it's increased when our natural endorphins are elevated when we're in love or during exercise, we're feeling good about life. PEA is a very powerful endogenous upper that we produce in our brains. When you're feeling good and you're living large and life is going great for you, you're producing really high levels of PEA. And when you're not, when you're depressed, when you're anxious, your PEA levels are low. And PEA works by activating the neurotransmission of dopamine in the brain. Dopamine is one of the catecholamines that you produce in the brain that gives you an upper sort of feeling, folks. So the research that's been done regarding blue-green algae and spirulina is clearly suggesting that it is a very high PEA nutrient. It's a nutrient that increases our PEA levels and our feel-good levels. It increases our love molecules. And unlike synthetic amphetamines, which are not very easily metabolized, PEA is considered a natural nerve modulator. It can be used according to our own homeostatic needs and eliminated whenever your body doesn't need it. So it's kind of, your body's going to find its own natural level of PEA through the supplementation of blue-green algae and spirulina. But I can tell you that over the years, whenever I've had people really, really stressed and seemingly overwhelmed, unable to get out of those depressive and those anxiety-based funks during periods of sharp stress, I think really dramatic results have been seen through my eyes whenever the proper dosing was administered, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But largely because the research indicates that indeed it stimulates the serotonin pathway, things like tryptophan, which we've talked about, the hydroxytryptophan, serotonin. A lot of folks know what those amino acids are. A lot of people take serotonin to sleep better. A lot of people take tryptophan to sleep better. A lot of people take the hydroxytryptophan, what's called the 5-HTP, to feel better, to increase the serotonin levels, which is a feel-good hormone in the brain. Well, blue-green algae, again, is able to produce the PEA and stimulate the serotonin pathway. So the feel-good hormone pathway gets triggered, and your nerve highways get loaded up with these wonderful neuromodulators, these feel-good hormones. So your level of feel-good hormones is going to dramatically shift upward. You'll get a great uptick in feel-good, folks. Also, it helps to regulate the catecholamine pathway. So the idea of stress produces adrenaline. Sometimes you just can't seem to get control of that adrenaline. You get really worried or stressed out about some issues, personal issues, work issues during the week. Stress issues are always out there, but every now and then you get some real beauties. Every now and then you go through these periods of life where things seem to really be mounting up on you and overwhelming you. That's exactly when you need to modulate your catecholamine pathways down because you're producing too many of these adrenaline-like stress hormones. You can't seem to get control of yourself. Heart rate's up, blood pressure's up, sleep is down. You're tired by day, you're wound out by night. You're in reverse. You're not regulating your catecholamines. You're not regulating those stress hormones. That's precisely what blue-green algae helps you do. So it increases the feel-good hormones and decreases the feel-bad hormones. We're going to keep it real simple, but that's precisely what it does. And a lot of folks, of course, are aware of the importance of many of these really amazing amino acids, things like GABA, things like we've talked about earlier, tryptophan. But the burning question in the world of vitamins and minerals, does it penetrate the brain-blood barrier? Do I really absorb this stuff? Does it really change my brain chemistry? Can I really assimilate it? Do I get any value out of it? Or am I just kind of wasting money taking pills? How many times we take these things that are supposed to be the greatest thing since sliced bread, and they just don't seem to get the job done. They don't work. You're dishing out the money, and hey, I'm waiting for something to happen. Never really happens. You read articles, you hear testimonials about things, and it's not really getting it done for you. So you go back in search of something else. That's not the case here. This is really solid research, and of course, empirically, subjectively in the work that I do, I've seen it make differences time and time again. You will notice a shift in your brain chemistry and your feel-good hormones going up, your feel-bad hormones going down immediately. It doesn't take you weeks and months. It takes hours, it takes moments. All right, we're going to take a short little break. We're going to let you take a deep breath, do a little yoga. We'll be right back.
This is Catherine from Jarrow Formulas. We're happy to have continued our relationship with Mark Mincola in the Health and Healing Show, and we're happy to announce a new product from Jarrow Formulas called Jarrow Cell. We all know that as the body ages, it heals less rapidly and becomes frailer. Often the body is unable to process enough nutrients to repair weakening cartilage and protein fibers. A very important element in building and repairing your body is silicon. But unfortunately, as we grow, you may have difficulty absorbing adequate silicon from your diet. But now, thanks to a product called Jarrow Cell, you can be sure to get your share. Jarrow Cell can give you the silicon you need to support your bone health, bone mineral density, and in addition, Jarrow Cell strengthens and beautifies your hair, skin, and nails. Jarrow Cell is available now in a synergistic liquid formula that also includes boron and zinc. Ask for Jarrow Cell at your local health food stores. Or for more information, you can go to the Jarrow website, which is www.jarrow.com.
Hi there, this is Mark Mincola, the Natural Health and Healing Show. I know that so many of you out there are passionate about the latest cutting-edge nutritional information, would like to go on to that next level. I'm proud to announce that our new natural health care offices in Cohasset are offering personalized nutritional consultations. At Santi Holistic Healing, you'll experience an informative, individualized nutritional consultation by one of my finest personally trained nutritional experts. Your consultant will test you for specific food allergies and supplements. Together, you'll chart out a personalized, optimal nutritional roadmap that will detail your healthiest foods and nutritional supplements, even specific doses. If that's not enough, we also offer relaxing healing massage at Santi Holistic Healing. Whether it's nutritional consulting or healing massage that you're interested in, we at Santi Holistic Healing are prepared to give you the healing experience of a lifetime. Call us at 781-383-3393. That's 781-383-3393 for the healing experience of a lifetime.
All right, hopefully you did your homework over that last series of commercials, and your attention span is far greater. Your assimilation response is going to be markedly better this half of the show. Okay, we also want to mention that without Good Health Natural Foods, you know about Good Health Natural Foods, they are our flagship sponsor since day one on the Natural Health and Healing Show. They've been with us for 8 years. So They're kind of like family here on the program, and you know that. So the supplements we talk about are on their shelves. And you know how I know that? Because they accommodate this remarkable pipeline. I do my research, I'm doing my work continuously in a very dedicated manner as always, and always finding out the latest and the most important information to bring to you. And I immediately contact Good Health Natural Foods as soon as I find sources, the best sources. And we track down what are absolutely the stone-cold best sources for these supplements imaginable. We bring them into Good Health. We're on the phone with them continuously. They never, ever ask me a question. If I say get something, it doesn't matter where it is on the planet. They'll find it. They'll get it in. It's within a week. It's in on the shelves. So that's the pipeline. That's their dedication to you, and that's how they've always accommodated my wishes. And God bless them. They do great, great work, and they really seem to give a hoot. They care, and that's what matters the most. Good Health Natural Foods, located 2 different locations, 1637 Hancock Street in Quincy. Give them a call down there, 617-773-4925, or 219 Columbia Road, down Route 53, Hanover Way, 781-826-0808 for all things natural, including the supplements we're talking about tonight and any given night on this program. It's Good Health Natural Foods. Give them a holler down there, and they'll take good care of you. We're going to get a little more specific about some of my favorite brands and doses and all that business in just a little bit. But just a little more information before we do that. We talked about the importance of the brain-blood barrier. This stuff that we're talking about this evening, the spirulina, which is the micro-blue-green algae, and the blue-green algae. Again, they penetrate the brain-blood barrier. There are very, very few supplements that will do that. Very few that will do that. In fact, there are very few feel-good supplements other than pharmaceutical drugs that will actually penetrate the brain-blood barrier. So when we're talking about stress, and we're talking about anxiety and depression, we're talking about the human brain. We're talking about the chemistry of the brain. If the supplement that's on that shelf does not have the ability to penetrate the brain-blood barrier, we're wasting our time. So, a lot of these supplements, a lot of these nutritional supplements are well studied, and they're very well documented both in human and animal studies, but they're not exactly what you're able to purchase at the health food store. You're not absolutely guaranteed to get exactly the same form that they might have been utilizing in a given study. But a lot of the vitamin companies immediately go out and within weeks they got something on the marketplace that was originated in an exciting study, knowing that you're going to read it, you're going to hear about it on programs such as this, everybody's going to go out and get it. Doesn't mean it's that absorbable. Again, the key, stress, we're talking about brain chemistry. So if whatever supplement we're talking about does not have the ability to penetrate, to be absorbed within the brain-blood barrier, it's just not going to get it done. Well, the supplements we're talking about tonight have the ability to do just that. So the important point here is that there are specific enzymes that allow the feel-good hormones, the PEAs that we're talking about, and the MOA-B inhibitors. These are really important agents that allow for the absorption and the assimilation. And it's really pretty simple. Blue-green algae, spirulina, have the amazing nucleic protein that we talk about. The protein is a very absorbable, like we said earlier, 90% absorbable. There aren't any proteins that are 90% absorbable, period, end of sentence, except blue-green algae. So the idea that it's a very absorbable form, and then the idea that there is both a nucleus and a cell wall tell us that there are different properties with spirulina. So the spirulina absorption is significantly higher because of both the cell wall and the nucleus, which are included in the supplements, the blue-green algae supplements, and the spirulina. So the idea here is that they have this remarkable ability to inhibit stress hormones. As we say, the dopamine levels are going to go up, and these negative enzymes that make you feel really stressed out are going to go way, way down. They reverse the effects of oxidative stress. And again, there have been studies also that have evaluated blue-green algae's ability to affect neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and mood disorders such as depressions. Dopamine concentrations in our bodies decrease 12%, folks, every 10 years after the age of 45. Dopamine is a feel-good agent. It's a very powerful feel-good agent in the brain. And again, it decreases 12% every 10 years after the age of 45. So, aging alone is stressful in that regard. The not-so-good hormones, the not-so-good enzymes like the MAOB enzymes that make us feel more stressed out, make us more susceptible to stressful feelings and stressful hormones, make us get more wired, increase the insomnia, the worry, the anxiety, the depression, the fear, the apprehension. Those nasty bugs, unfortunately, increase after the age of 45 by about 2.5% every decade. So bad stuff goes up, good stuff goes down. What's nature trying to do to us here anyway? Huh? They're playing a cruel joke on us. Might have something to do with the way we live prior to those 45, prior to that 45th birthday, I should say. So clearly, the way we live, the way we eat, our lifestyle, our belief systems, they need a little work here. And we're trying to help you out with that. But another important point here is there have been several studies, actually there have been 4 studies to date that show that spirulina or its extracts can actually prevent or inhibit cancer in human, animals, and fish. You know, and some forms of cancer are the result of what we would call DNA mutation or damage, which is out of control, causing, as we all know, uncontrolled growth. And cellular biologists have defined a system of special enzymes called endonuclease, which repair damaged DNA. So these endonucleases that repair the mutation hits that we take, like we said earlier, are very rife in the polysaccharide spirulinas. So they enhance, the spirulinas and the blue-green algae actually enhance the nucleus enzyme activity and the DNA repair response. So the way in which we repair our cells after they take these mutated hits, 30,000 a day as we said, there's a tremendous amount of repair work that takes place. So spirulinas, of course, available in many different forms. Like we said, there are 25,000 species on the planet. And you could walk into virtually any health food store, or go on the internet, or grab a health magazine, and you're always going to find somebody who is selling some spirulina or some blue-green algae. So there is no shortage of blue-green algae in the marketplace. There's a shortage of people understanding it. There's a shortage of people really talking about it. And there's a shortage of people purchasing it as well. I think it's one of the best priced deals in the nutritional marketplace. You know, folks are buying so many different, I won't mention any brands here, but they're purchasing a lot of what we call green foods, because a lot of people are becoming more and more aware of the importance of alkalizing, neutralizing all that acidity from stress. That's good stuff, no question about it. But what you see a lot of people doing is spending ridiculous sums of money on gourmet greens. Folks, stop it. It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. It's really important to understand that there are very affordable ways to go about doing this. There are extremely affordable ways to find your way to a very, what would I call it, very efficient form of spirulina, a very efficient form of blue-green algae. Now, not all of them are that way, and, we looked at hundreds of them, and we compared them side by side. We made them really go head-to-head with our arduous reviews, and found that there were 4. I distilled it down to 4, and I put them in order the ones that I like the best. So, again, Good Health Natural Foods is certainly a place that does have an abundance of spirulina, blue-green algae, and there are 4 in particular that I did like. And again, there's some remarkable potentials here with these supplements. Again, in the face of a lot of the stress, I would tell you by using blue-green algae or spirulina as a supplement, especially if you're under a tremendous amount of stress, you'll notice a difference the day you first use it. What will you notice? A couple things. Number one, you'll notice a clarity, because one of the things that stress robs us of is a mental clarity. Stress has a unique way of really frazzling our minds, of really making us sort of discombobulate. You know, you kind of forget where you put stuff. You're kind of running out the door half-loaded. You're just not quite sure about what you're doing. Your memory, short-term, long-term, forget it. Your ability to concentrate, your ability to focus your attention, not there. That's not what stress leaves you with. It leaves you with quite the opposite. It leaves you with great confusion. It leaves you with a very disoriented brain. And I think that one of the first things you notice with blue-green algae and spirulina is instantly, I mean, literally within a matter of 20 minutes or so, you start to feel like the door and the window opens in front of your eyes. A little bit of clarity, a little bit of fresh air there. You know, the idea that your thinking suddenly settles down, settles in, focuses more clearly, your concentration's markedly better. That's what I notice. And that's what most of the folks over the years that I've recommended it to do notice. So, again, during periods of stress, when you want to get your brain and your body together, I think that you'll find that spirulina and the blue-green algae are exactly what the doctor ordered. And in terms of the price, we're looking at some very, very affordable means of doing this work. You know, neutralizing the incredible forces foisted upon us by stress. I mean, that's pretty much priceless to begin with. I mean, you'd pay just about anything for something to truly be effective in the face of a stressful onslaught. Anything that enables you to concentrate, to focus, to find a sense of peace, to sleep better, but to have energy by day, to have a mood elevation during periods where you have no business having an elevated mood. What would you pay for that? I can hear all the answers kind of coming back at me right now. It's the first time I ever heard on the other side of a radio projection here. But anyway, the objective really is to really save the money. You know, forget the gourmet supplements. There are viable ways to support the adrenal glands, the brain, the body in the face of stress for about $20 to $25, maybe $30 a month at the most. In fact, some of these are even less. Some of these are even less. There's one particular product that's $11.26. And, you know, using the dosage recommended, that should last you about 3 weeks. So, you know, $11.26 for 3 weeks. Can you afford that? You know, for what the delivery is that we're talking about here, in the face of the kind of stresses that so many of us are facing day in and day out, you would gladly pay that. You would gladly pay that. So, again, there are 4 products we're going to talk about. We're going to take a short little break. When we come back from the break, we're going to mention exactly what those products are, how to use them. We're going to dose them for you and price them for you. Stay tuned. Hi there, this is Mark Mincole, the Natural Health and Healing Show. I know that so many of you out there are passionate about the latest cutting-edge nutritional information, would like to go on to that next level. I'm proud to announce that our new natural health care offices in Cohasset are offering personalized nutritional consultations. At Santi Holistic Healing, you'll experience an informative, individualized nutritional consultation by one of my finest personally trained nutritional experts. Your consultant will test you for specific food allergies and supplements. Together, you will chart out a personalized, optimal nutritional roadmap that will detail your healthiest foods and nutritional supplements, even specific doses. If that's not enough, we also offer relaxing healing massage at Santi Holistic Healing. Whether it's nutritional consulting or healing massage that you're interested in, we at Santi Holistic Healing are prepared to give you the healing experience of a lifetime. Call us at 781-383-3393. That's 781-383-3393
for the healing experience of a lifetime.
Hi, this is Laura from Good Health. Did you know that organic foods offer up to 1,000% more vitamins and minerals than non-organic foods? It's true. So this year, make every dollar count. Shop at Good Health Natural Foods in Quincy and Hanover. See us online at goodhealthnaturalfood.com. Remember, for certified 100% organic produce, natural groceries, vitamins, sports nutrition, herbs, homeopathics, and natural cosmetics, it's Good Health Natural Foods. We'll see you soon.
All right, when you consider that, 1/3 of Americans polled recently by the American Psychological Association, 1/3, not just stressed, not just mildly stressed or stressed, in an average manner, if there is such a thing. We're talking severely stressed. 1/3 of Americans severely stressed. American Institute of Stress estimates that 90% of all doctor visits involve stress-related conditions. 90% of all doctor visits. So stress is playing a significant role in our health, in the way that our bodies and our minds work. Obviously, stress plays a significant role with depression, anxiety, and all those astronomically elevating numbers as well, affecting sleep, mood, our mental equilibrium, and immunity, our nervous system, and on and on and on. And, a lot of folks would say that stress has become America's number one health problem, and I'm certainly one of those people who does believe that stress has indeed become America's number one health problem. And we're not getting results because, again, in Psych Central recently, a report suggests a new national study finds that Americans are feeling more stressed than they did 6 months ago. A survey of 1,000 men and women ages 18 and older revealed that 47% of respondents currently feel more stress than they did 6 months ago. So the suggestion there is that we're not feeling better. We don't have good strategies. It's not improving for us. It's actually, unfortunately, mounting and not going away. We just keep waking up to the same old intense levels of stress day in and day out. So we've certainly made the case that both in my subjective, empirical, day-to-day experience in my 28 years of work, along with so much great research that's out there, that you do have natural, medicinal, natural biochemical support systems available to you over the counter. And we're going to share those with you right now. Number 4, we'll start with number 4 of the 4 supplements that I recommend. Number 4 is the Klamath, Klamath, the Klamath Blue-Green Algae. Klamath Blue-Green Algae, 130 capsules at Good Health Natural Foods right now. 500 milligrams, $28.76. $28.76. So that's Klamath Blue-Green Algae, 130 caps, 500 milligrams, $28.76 for that container. The recommended dose on those at 500 milligrams, I'd like you to take at least 2 grams there, so that would be 4 a day. Number 3 would be the Earthrise Spirulina, 180 tabs at 600 milligrams, $20.46 for 180 tabs. That is a good bargain. Earthrise Spirulina, a very good company, by the way, a really superb company. I'd recommend 3 a day there because that gets you about 1,800 milligrams. So I'd like to get you up around 2 grams, 2,000 milligrams a day. And of course, would you be shocked and surprised if I didn't mention a Jarrow Formulas product? No, you wouldn't. That's what I'm gonna mention it right now. So Jarrow Formulas, I love this name. Are you ready for this? Yayama. Y-A-Y-A-M-A, Yayama. I love that name. Jarrow Formulas Yayama. That's a 100-gram powder. 100-gram powder. Now listen to this. 1/2 of a teaspoon equals 2 grams. So there's your 2,000 milligrams. So the recommended dose is just a 1/2 teaspoon. $11.26. You cannot beat that with a stick. Impossible to beat that. $11.26. Jarrow Formulas Yayama, 100 grams of powder. And again, a simple little 1/2 teaspoon equals 2,000 milligrams. Pretty concentrated stuff. That's very concentrated spirulina. And again, Jar Formulas is always coming up with really good, strong products. They work very hard at developing effective formulas, and you surely can't beat that price, I can tell you that. Number 1 on my list of 4. Can we have a drum roll, Larry? Larry, do you have a drum roll for me? No drum rolls? Oh, come on, Larry. What kind of...
I don't know. Bring some drums in next week.
All right, I'll bring some drums in. I don't know what that was, though. Yeah. All right. That was Larry.
To take something.
That was Larry. We got to get you some spirulina. That was Larry Nelson's drum roll.
All right.
Much better. Much better. All right, number 1, Solgar spirulina, 750 milligrams, 250 tabs, $28.81 for a day. I'll say that one more time. The spirulina is, of course, a Solgar product, S-O-L-G-A-R, the gold label. Solgar spirulina is 750 milligrams. There's 250 tabs in there for $28.81. I'd recommend 3 or 4 of those a day. It's a really superb product, extremely well formulated. The last 2 in particular I'm really quite enthusiastic about, the Jar Formulas Yayama and the Solgar spirulina. Now, it all depends on whether you're more inclined to take a powder. Not literally. I don't want you to take a powder. I want you to stay right on board with me. No. Whether you're inclined to take a powder as a supplement or a caplet. Now, a caplet is like a capsule shape, but it's actually a tablet. So it's a tablet in the shape of a capsule. Hope you're not confused about that. But some people are better at pills. Some people are better at taking the powder. So you can add the powder to, if you make a shake in the morning, if you make any kind of special smoothies or something like that, then the powder certainly works really good. And a half a teaspoon is going to pretty much disappear in that shake and not interfere with whatever else you're blending in there. So it's really, really easy to work with. But I will tell you, I take the Solgar spirulina, the 750 milligrams, 250 tabs, $28.81. I take 4 a day and love this stuff. Absolutely love this stuff. So do I feel a marked difference during periods of stress? Indeed I do. I feel a marked difference, and again, I feel a far greater concentration. I feel far greater focus. I feel far more clarity. I feel better quality sleep. I feel my energy by day is great. My sleep quality by night is better. My adrenals definitely feel the difference. And again, my stress glands are not as out of control. And I also notice a number of other things. I also notice that my energy is markedly better. I feel kind of hard to describe it, but I feel that it's not just a physical energy. If there is such a thing as a mental energy, and I believe there is, a brain energy, not just a body energy, I notice a marked difference with that mental energy. The positivity, I guess I'd say. The idea of, let me break it down a little more simply. It gives you those real positive vibes. It gets your brain in that real positive mode. When you say to yourself, I have no reason to be positive right now, because I got all this negative stuff going on in my world, if your stress levels are really peaking on you. Well, if you do 4 of these spirulinas, these 750 milligram Solgar spirulinas, I will guarantee you that you'll feel positive. You may feel guilty about it, but you'll feel positive. And no, I'm just kidding. You shouldn't feel guilty about feeling great. That's what it's all about, folks. Feeling as good as you can. You deserve it. Go get it. Don't let anything stop you. One of my favorite sayings by one of my favorite motivational authors, Stephen Covey. I love Stephen Covey's work. He always says it's not about conditions. It's about decisions. Love that. And indeed, it's your decision to do something about your condition, to empower yourself, make your differences, believe you can, believe you deserve it, and enjoy the results. That's what it's all about. So hopefully we've given you some information this evening that you can take advantage of and have some fun with and some experimenting with. Once again, I'll review those 4. Klamath blue-green algae, 130 caps, 500 milligrams, $28.76. Take 4 a day. Earth Rise spirulina, 180 tabs, 600 milligrams each. $20.46. 3 a day would be the answer there. Number 2, Jar Formulas Yayama. 100 grams of powder, 1/2 a teaspoon, gives you 2 grams, and that's only for $11.26 a day. I mean, $11.26 a bottle, rather. And that'll last you, honestly, that should last you a good 3 to 4 weeks. So it's $11.26 a month for all intents and purposes. And my number one pick, your Solgar spirulina, 750 milligrams. That's 250 tabs, $28.81 for a day. And again, that should last you a good long time as well. That should last you, well, think about it, 4 a day, 250 tabs. You can do the math on that. That'll last you a good long time. All right. And we should always remind you that you can actually watch this broadcast, not just listen to it again. If you wanted to catch some of this information, once again, you can view it on our website, www.maxhealing.com or markmancola.com. Take your pick. And, of course, that podcast is all made possible because of Adam Ing. He is our brain. He helps us with all such things, and we thank him for that. We thank Larry Nelson for being the world's finest engineer. And not a bad drummer. Not a bad drummer either. And we thank you so much for joining us, per usual. And again, you can check this program out every Sunday at 8 o'clock. Natural Health and Healing Show is, of course, heard on WATD 95.9. Until next Sunday at 8 o'clock, this is Mark Mincola reminding you all, please be wise, be aware, be well. Make it a healthy week. Good night.
Thank you for joining Mark Mincola for the Natural Health and Healing Show. Call Mark each Sunday.